It is August 22, 2016. You are listening to Old GentleFriends podcast. My name is Migs.
And my name's Emil.
And we are at the end of the Overwatch Summer Olympics event. So, yeah, I think that's what that's half of what we did this weekend, which is to just farm a lot of the loot boxes before the event ends.
Yeah.
And
Jeah.
so what? Yeah. What? So what do you think about the summer event?
I mean, I like the summer event. I thought it was very interesting to bring out these limited edition skins. Because I know some of them had like very unique looks towards them, and I feel like for some of them it's better than some of even like the 1K skins. You know what I mean? Because I know they ranked it by rarity. It's ranked with the same as like the 250 skins, which I think is like the rare ones. Versus the pink ones I think is legendary. I don't know. That's just what I think.
So far, what I didn't like about is the excess stuff, or even the duplicates that you get to receive via the loot boxes. Even though it's summer themed, but I just think that it shouldn't supposed to contain the non-summer event items.
Oh, got it. Oh, so you normally just get just the summer stuff.
Because during the time that we've been doing these summer events, like the summer loot boxes, most of the time we just got duplicates or non summer event items. But and I would really think that it would be great or better if they just on the next event or on the next loot box event they have a set number of items that isn't one of the default unlockables in the game.
Right. Yeah. Or
to make it more exclusive or special. I don't know.
Or even if it's just like, actually, I kind of like that idea, but because if you think about it this way, if you get a loot box, and here's what I'm thinking. So right now, if you go on the shop section, there's actually two loot boxes that you can buy. You can buy the regular one, and you can buy the summer box.
Yeah.
I'd almost kind of wish that if you gain a loot box, you can either unlock one or the other. Let's say you let's say you don't want the summer skins, and then you just want to keep unlocking the regular ones. You just unlock that box.
I think that would be handy also. But now that I think about it, it would also lessen the rarity or the exclusivity of the items that are in those boxes. Like if we're just going to isolate the event items on one box and not include also the default items that you can get from the loot boxes. So yeah,
I guess it does feel
it just needs a little bit of a middle ground, I guess.
Maybe like a boost on like drop rate for some of them or all of them. I did feel like it's a little bit imbalanced though, because not imbalanced in the sense like it's game breaking, but more like not every character not every character has a summer themed anything. Like everyone has their player icons, but some of them have emotes, some of them have skins, some of them have
nothing
else
at all.
Yeah, so it's kind of.
I think there's still something for everyone. Like there's still something for every character, but skins wise, it's just a small bunch of characters that got the summer event skins.
Yeah,
like, characters like Reaper didn't get anything at all.
I was looking for the BMX skin, man.
Yeah, I thought they're gonna do everything that they leaked on the sprays
for that box. Those boxes.
Yeah, I was actually hoping for a ping pong themed May skin, which is pretty neat. Like, in ping pong uniform.
Yeah, or even like the golfer 76.
Oh yeah, that one also. I was actually hoping for that one, but it's just sprays and icons.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, the event is enjoyable, and the Lucio Ball brawls are also interesting. It's not Rocket League, but they have the same ideas as Rocket League.
Yeah. I
And,
feel like they had that running the whole summer
the whole
event, right?
event.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Jeah.
never actually changed the brawl in the middle of the Olympics.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I really do hope that they kind of keep the mode in custom game, just in case
Oh yeah.
some
Something they can
some of
come
us
back
want
to.
to play Lucio Ball again, because
Yeah.
it would really suck if Lucio Ball events will just come by every 4 years.
Yeah, I know
Just
I know
for the
exactly what you
Olympics.
mean. It's a good like mini game to have too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So speaking of games, we got some games we played this week.
Jeah.
Overall, some small games.
Yeah. Mini games.
You want me to start?
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, sure. This one's actually interesting because I just managed to discover this little gem in the Steam page on probably on the recommended games or the curators list in
Okay.
Steam.
All right.
So the name of the game is Reigns, and it's a pretty interesting. It's a pretty interesting. How can you explain it? It's a
What?
card game slash kingdom management sim.
Like
Slash-
Civilization
Yeah, slash Tinder.
slash Tinder.
Yeah, slash Tinder. So
Okay.
the game acts like you have a deck of cards
Okay.
that you get to move left or right. So basically, you're the new king of the town, and your father just died of an unknown an unknown thing. So you're this king that you need to fulfill the role of the previous king.
Yeah.
And
So you're
going
Joffrey.
basically you're Joffrey, or probably another non-dim-witted king.
Got it.
But the game is something like it gives you a deck of cards,
Okay.
and if you draw one card, there's an event that occurs, and you get to choose as a king what the outcome will be or what your action will be. So, for example, there's advisor cards that appear in your deck, and you get to choose if you're going to say yes or no to the advisor's advice or suggestion on
Okay.
how to run your kingdom. So advisors in this game are actually four types of advisors, which is the church, the people or the state, the military, and as well as the merchants.
Okay.
So these four powers of each advisor, you need to balance them out in order to manage your kingdom longer. Because, for example, if you please the church too much in a way that they will actually overthrow your kingdom, and at the same time, if you didn't please them too much, and the bar, because they have gauges in it,
Okay.
if you didn't please the church too much, and it went down to zero, they will revolt and actually kick you out of the kingdom also.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Alright.
so you have to go on in the middle ground also. So
Okay.
that's what's interesting, because for every card that you pick, there's consequence on the action you're going to take. So every action has an effect on each of the four powers. So,
Okay.
for example, this action favors the church and the merchants, but at the same time, the people and the military doesn't like that decision, so they will go down while the church and the merchants
Like go up.
powers goes up. Yeah. It's a really fun kingdom management slash Tinder game. Like seriously, it's like swipe left or swipe right. Like it's designed to be like Tinder.
Jeez.
And
How
yeah,
easy is it to pick up? Like, how long did it take you to like really get a good grasp of the game?
I think it's just around 5 minutes. You'll understand how the game works because it's really simple. It's like when I see this game, I bet that they can actually adopt this into a real card game
Mm-hmm.
or something, or maybe probably a multiplayer card game because it's kind of complicated when you think about it also. But yeah, it's very easy to play, and of course, if you the way to win the game is to actually stay in power for a lot of years, and whenever you die or you ran out of if you get kicked out of the kingdom, they will record. I mean, the game will record it, and they have this own timeline of the kings of the past that have that have played this game or something. So it's just you. For example, your first king died, and the second king will go and continue his thing that you've started with on the previous one. So that's something that's also very interesting in this game is that there's a flow of history on the kingdom you're shaping with. So it doesn't really reset that at all when you play the game. And speaking of having a certain history, one of the things that is also good about this game is that you get to have additional cards that you get to keep on the deck that has themes on it. Like for example, if you do find a witch or a doctor, they will add more cards on that deck so that you can play those cards also when you start a new game or you continue your game. And there's also what do you call this? There's also a cool feature that, for example, you reach the year 1000, and that's a century now of your kingdom. So there's like a millennial type of deck that they'll add on that same deck. So just to keep up with the times, because also your technology and your culture also upgrades over time. So it's pretty cool to see that in this type of simple game.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I will try to stream it for a bit probably this week.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Just to
give you
kind
an
of
idea.
illustrate. Yeah. No, that'd be great.
Yeah. But so far, yeah, the art. What else can I say? The art style is pretty basic, like it's pretty simple. Just very cut out like characters that are vectorized and very abstract.
Okay.
And the music is also okay. It's all okay. It doesn't really bother me that much. But the gameplay is also like I said, the gameplay is very interesting. And I haven't touched everything that I've described in the. I mean, I haven't touched everything about the game when I described it a while ago because there's a lot of actual features in the game when it comes to building and managing your kingdom in this card game. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Now, what's the price point? It's free, right? Is it free to play?
No, it's actually just $2 on Steam. Well, I got it for 100 pesos, and yeah,
It's the equivalent. Yeah.
it's very cheap, but at the same time, you will not regret buying this game. It's pretty cool. So yeah, it's Rain, a choose your own adventure meets kingdom management meets Tinder, basically.
All right.
Oh yeah. So what about you? I heard you've actually dabbled in one of the PS Plus free games that they offered this month.
Yeah, this month. So PS Plus members, I think there's 3 different games that's free this month, but I just played with one of them. It's called Tricky Towers, and I actually saw this while I was just like watching random streams that day, and I was watching Li Joe's stream For some reason, he was playing Tricky Towers. He was just like cursing on air like nonstop. It was really funny, and yeah. So Tricky Towers is basically, think of it as like Tetris, but with a little bit more. It's a little bit more refined. Like there's gravity involved now. So like,
Oh wow.
you can actually have your pieces like hang off the side a little, but like if normally you can do that with Tetris. Oh, actually,
But they don't snap like Tetris. Like there's an in between actually. So think of it as like, if for Tetris, every time you move left or right, it's one block away, one block left, one block right. Now for Tricky Towers, there's actually half blocks. Like your movement is half blocks. So sometimes it's a little bit difficult to align. And think of it this way: if you're playing Tetris, think of Tricky Towers as like that, minus the borders on the side, so your blocks can actually hang off the side now. Ooh wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty interesting take on the
And like an old genre
block game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has different modes. Basically, there is the classic puzzle mode. There's like a race mode, and I think there's like a survival mode. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. What else can I say? It's a pretty.
Does it have like multiplayer also, or is it just a single player experience?
Oh, it has multiplayer. Think of it this way: if you play multiplayer, odds are it's gonna be like a race to the top, and then because the way that you play it is as you stack your tower, there's like little like rainbow lines. That's kind of like mini goals / imagine like having a checkpoint, but it's not really a checkpoint. It's basically like let's say it's a quarter stack of towers. You get like a power up. Because your character is actually a wizard trying to build the towers, right? And your wizard gets like a power up.
Sold already because of the wizard, but...
And then you get power ups as you cross those margins, and then you get to like fuck up your opponent. Like
so it's like Battle Tetris in a way.
Yeah,
but with more wizardry.
Yeah. So like one of the power ups that you can do is. Let's say you lock your opponent's block. So for like the next 5 blocks, he can't rotate, or he can nudge it around, but he has to like it stays the exact position that it is. Or another power up is like making the blocks like oversized, so they have to like accommodate for like a bigger block. So like imagine like like 4 times the size of that Z block. That's gonna like fuck you up because it's so it gets really crooked.
Right, that's kind of unfair.
Yeah, that's good
when you think about it.
Yeah,
but yeah, Tricky Towers. Okay, I'll definitely download it now.
There's ways to like
that's middle player.
Yeah, it's a very interesting game, and even if you play it by yourself, I still feel like it's very fun because I like puzzle games. So this is just like a good way to just. I've actually used this to kind of like cleanse the palate.
Balance it. of your Dark Souls adventures.
Dark Souls, or like playing a lot of Overwatch, and you get like a crap ton of shooty games. I just stop and then I fire up Tricky Towers, play it a couple times, beat a couple levels, and then I just go back to Overwatch. It's a good game. It's a fun game. I haven't tried multiplayer yet. I do want to like play multiplayer though.
Let's try it. Like probably next week.
Yeah, dude. It says you can get 2 to 4 players for online multiplayer, and
sweet. I can actually have a Tricky Tower party with Miggy and probably Carlos or Will from TMG.
Yeah. Oh, are they on PS Plus now? Do they have?
They have PS4.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that'd be great. We can actually make that like an episode. That'd be super fun.
Collab.
TMG
noobs and cubes collab again.
Right. Price point before we move on. Just price point. Right now it's free for PS Plus members, but if you want to buy it on retail, it is $15.
Oh wow! Well,
I believe it's an indie game.
A good multiplayer component with it.
I think it's fun. It's fun to
long-lasting stay power, I guess $15 ain't that bad.
It ain't that bad. I would say it's worth it. I mean, I did play it like for free though, but it's fun. I had a lot of blast with it.
So now that we've played our own type of, games that cleanse the palate, we've experienced something that we believe would be great, but understandably, since it's a tech test, there are some features in this game that didn't really,
could use some work. Could use a little bit more.
It kind of disappointed us,
love and attention.
In a level that didn't actually let us play properly or something. So this week, EA and Respawn Entertainment announced that they launched the Titanfall 2 tech test demo for the consoles. So it's Xbox One and PS4, and we did get to try it. Probably an hour ago or 2 hours ago.
Yeah, about an hour or two ago.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the tech test demo right now because probably there's also considering lag when it comes to our case because we're coast to coast.
Yeah, we were basically dicking around with like their data centers.
Yeah, I mean I'm based in the Philippines. Emil's right now in California. So what we did was we tried to go in the middle.
We traveled around the world
range
to find the right spot.
And somehow we ended up in Japan. we ended up in Japan. But I think when we tried, we did end up playing one game together.
We did,
and it was, I don't know what it was for you, ping wise or speed wise.
It was great
in my
for
case. Yeah, in my case, I was jumping around and a lot of guys are teleporting.
Oh God!
And it was okay for a casual setup, but if you want something that is smooth and properly working, I don't think that it's
ready
for that yet. Or probably it's not really recommended to play with someone from the States or someone very far away or something.
Or maybe not right now, because I know they've had that feature before for the first Titanfall.
Titanfall 1. Yeah, you can actually choose what data server you want.
Yeah. So maybe they'll fix it eventually, hopefully. Because otherwise, I'm probably not gonna get it. Because I'm not gonna play with a lot of people here.
I don't know why it's happened, but there's this weird feature they have now called Network, which is like groups or Yahoo, like Facebook groups, basically where you get to pair with people that are similar to your interests. So you can also create a network for your small group of friends, and whenever you actually go play a game of Titanfall 2, you can actually invite the whole network and see who can respond to your call of invite.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a mass invite friends request.
Yeah.
So instead of just inviting one friend, you get to invite the whole village or something, and that's a pretty good feature if it works. And in this tech test, it's like a 50-50 chance that the button or the menu isn't even working. Like invite friends is taking time to respond whenever we use it. Also, it's also
or
the case
it wouldn't even network. Work. Like it popped up towards the end as we were trying it. It popped up, a window popped up on mine and said to press triangle to join. I was pressing triangle like crazy. It didn't do anything. So I don't know if it's like it's taking too long for the server to like take in the input, or we had to wait. But you get like a 30-second time limit to join in, and I didn't get to join in. So I think the only time that it worked was before we were in a network. I think we just partied up.
Yeah, we just partied up, and we kind of do the play together feature of the party chat.
So I guess in that sense it worked. But as far as networking, I mean, you can tell they're trying to like structure it so that it's easier for people to find like games to play. But I don't know.
Yeah, I like their idea, but I guess you just have to tinker it further for it to execute properly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the networking idea is pretty good.
Yeah.
Or just
still-
just to be fair.
Wasn't their original problem matchmaking? What was the original issue? People just stopped.
Matchmaking on the first Titanfall is just I don't know. Well, typical Call of Duty matchmaking where you get to be selected based on your rank and your skill level, I guess. And the ping, or I mean the net code or the network range or something, so that you'll get a game that is running smoothly and has players that is similar in your skill level. For this one, I think it's still the same.
Yeah.
Like if you go to the quick play, they always do that.
Yeah.
So that it won't be that fair. I mean, it won't be that unfair
Right.
for new players and old players alike. But yeah, like they said, it's still the what's that? Alpha?
Pre-alpha.
Post-alpha?
Pre-alpha.
Pre-alpha. Which is also bothering me a bit because this game is gonna come out at October, and they're just in the alpha phase of this multiplayer test. I mean, I don't know, like, I was hoping it would be called beta, but probably it's just their way of making it cooler
Yeah.
sounding. But I don't know.
But I mean, let's talk about their the gameplay, because we've talked about networking and all the past issues that they've had. What do you think of the current way that the game plays?
Oh well, that's the thing. I mean, if it works, like if when the tech test works properly, it really is a really it really is a good game. I mean, I like the changes that was shown in this demo. They introduced new types of power-ups or perks. They introduced new types of mechs. Also, it's a bit overwhelming right now.
It's very overwhelming.
Everything has changed. That's to say the least.
I mean, we also played from like a PC to a PS4, so I know for me at least, a lot has changed because I'm like, I don't even know how to aim.
Yeah. Oh man, you gotta watch the stream. Emil's having a hard time trying to insta aim.
Yeah, man. Towards the end, I was
there.
just like, all right, fuck it. I'm just gonna run and I'm gonna punch people. It worked. It worked for a while. I got a double, man.
Genji did.
A Genji did.
But yeah, I think
But Jeah.
so far, I think that's what's different this time around is that they added a lot of stuff per perk, right? Like you have grappling hooks now. You got duplicates or clones for distractions. You got
The
ninja
hollow
darts
one.
that you can.
Oh, like a sonar thing. If you play
sonar
Hanzo, it's his sonar arrow.
It's basically Hanzo's sonar arrow.
Yeah.
And those are those things plus the core gameplay and movement mechanics of the first game. It really added up and it made the game really more interesting
Yeah.
than it was on the first one.
I feel like they didn't really. Well, not to say that they didn't do any work on it, because clearly they did. But, I mean, at the end of it, I feel like the foundation was always kind of just set that Titanfall knew what it was. So, like, all the mechanics, like the wall climbing, the wall running, and all that mobility stuff, I feel like it's always just been there. And I feel like they've just, refined it with, like, more tools and more stuff to play with.
What do you think about the grappling hook? It wowed you.
It's fucking wow. I was like, wow, that's so shitty. I'm sure, like, if you are used to using the grappling hook, it'll be cool. But I was like, I
think there is a learning curve.
That's
to
true.
say the least.
That's true.
Because when I tried the grappling hook, it was really slow. Like you tried to press.
Yeah, you felt
the
like
grappling
you're
hook
slower.
button, it's like he's just grading off. It's just grading off the wall.
No.
But I just found out that if you press jump while the hook's trying to zip up,
Yeah.
it will actually speed up the momentum of the character. It makes you super jump a bit. So it is. There's this hidden mechanic for the grappling hook.
That's the thing. They
will
never
allow
teach you that. They don't teach you anything.
Yeah,
All
I
they
think
have is a
for
demo for like wall run, the pilot mode.
yeah for the tutorial section of this demo, they only just
Basic
touch upon
basic
the basic
movement,
stuff.
how to aim,
Yeah.
which I guess I forgot.
They didn't even included a Titan tutorial, right?
Nope.
It's just
No, they
pilot
didn't.
movement.
Towards the end of the tutorial, the guy just says, "Let's go back to the real world. I'm gonna show you something," and then that was it. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Oh,
Yeah,
it's done.
I thought that they're gonna show more.
Yeah, I'm
after
sure.
that
I'm sure
segment.
they're probably still building that. Maybe that's just
Oh,
like
yeah.
yeah, for sure. I mean, for me personally, obviously, I'm not gonna get it on PS4 because fuck aiming on a controller. That's the dumbest thing ever. Or at least I can't take
What
it.
if we don't have a choice? What if we actually got good when it comes to aiming in the controller?
I don't know how I'm gonna get good at aiming on a controller. If I can just melee, sure. I'm gonna play that game. I'm gonna Genji.
But yeah, you're right. When you said in the stream that, if we're playing this in the PC, fucking kick their asses. It was such an infuriating thing when
the
we
salt
when
just,
we
like,
played the game.
sprinkling in, man. But yeah, it was just like the funniest thing. I do like that. Because I remember in Titanfall 1, if you do your melee attack, sometimes he'll do the neck snapping animation, like, the other stuff like that, which I know kind of got you killed if you were doing the animation because you're kind of locked into it and you can't do anything. For this one, I feel like no matter where you're coming from, he's doing the punch animation and it's just done. Like you throw your punch and you're done, you can move on. I feel like that's better, granted that the neck snapping thing looks so much cooler. But if it gets
I
you
believe
killed, then it's not.
That's pretty up, right? Because once you're locked into the animation, you can't even get hit.
You can?
So you're like in invisible frames mode on that.
Really? I always thought that I died.
Yeah,
Or people get
that's
to
what
like
I remember.
people get to aim at your head right when you're doing the animation. So once you're out, you just get
so
shot.
they just wait at it once the animation's over.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, well, okay. Yeah, but I mean, I kind of just like the fluidity of the movement. I mean, I wish I knew about the grappling hook thing because now it feels like, maybe I could have done a little bit more like Attack on Titan kind of action on it.
Are we gonna have another Twitch stream later this day?
Well, I mean, like Miggy actually commented on our Facebook page that he wants to get in on it too.
I guess probably we'll play another.
Maybe we'll try. Maybe it'll work.
It works.
Maybe it won't. But overall, I've always thought that Titanfall was a pretty solid game. Like even just the first one, especially when they added that co-op mode thing, so you don't have to face
I
off.
really like the first one.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm an unapologetically Titanfall fan.
I mean, obviously, I never got to that, that high meta level where everyone was just like wall running 99% of the entire game, and I was like, I don't know, I'm still basically walking on land. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, you get used to it if you put in that much more time. They did get rid of the smart pistol. I don't know if it's just like a pre-alpha thing, but I did notice they got rid of that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
Because a lot of people complained about that, right?
Yeah, this like baby mode
it's
for
just like
Titanfall.
Done, shoot, dead.
Yeah.
And it was so cool. It was so cool playing that. You were chasing someone and you just like lock on like those four or three dots and just like you're dead.
Yeah, I think there is still a pistol, but I don't know if it's the smart pistol or just a regular handgun.
I think it's just like a regular handgun. It was sad.
Oh well.
I don't know. It was
is
the one
really
that was on the training mode. I mean, it's just a pistol.
It's actually a good weapon, like a good weapon that they introduced in the first game. Like even though it's baby mode basically, but it has its
so
own
good.
advanced thing that you can
so
actually
good.
do.
So I feel like it's broken. If you and in the hands of like someone Who knows?
In the hands of a really
in the hands of a Genji.
in the hands of a nerd.
In the hands of a no life.
Of a no
lifer. Yeah. He'd do some damage.
It would be a disaster.
Oh, yeah.
Actually,
especially the perk where it's like
with them.
your lock so much faster. Broken.
Yeah, with that perk, yeah.
Broken. GG easy.
So we'll take a break.
Yeah.
And we'll be back with we will be back to the future.
Jeah. We're back. Oh god. Jeah.
And we're back. Alright, that's interesting. Let's rev it.
We're back in the future.
Yeah, this week's movie club topic will be Back to the Future. Emil, you chose this movie. And
well, because it popped up on my recommended movies on Netflix, and I was like, all right, cool. Why not?
Okay.
And I think
so
it was my first time like actually like seeing it with like the full intention of seeing it.
Yeah, mine too, I guess. Yeah. Or probably like a second, but this is the most refined observation of the movie.
Like when you watch a movie like back then, it's like, oh, that's cool. It's like you're just looking at the things that move, and now it's more just like, okay, now you're picking up on cinematography.
Like what we've experienced in
like Star Wars or like Home Alone, exactly. So whenever we talked about that, so yeah. Today we are going to be talking about Back to the Future.
So, what was the film all about?
The film was all about this kid going back to the future.
Well, probably going back to 1955. Yeah. So yeah, it's a kid named Marty McFly who who has a friend who invented the time machine.
Does he work for him? I didn't quite.
No, I think they're just good friends.
Okay.
Yeah, good friends and probably a willing assistant to one of Dr. Brown's experiments. But
I'll talk about that later.
in some plot device, Marty managed to go back in time to 1955 because
he was trying to get away from
from this is some of the stuff that I forgot when I was young when I saw this, but I just discovered that Doc Brown is actually a very dangerous person. To the point that he's
actually pretty crazy. He
fucking conned the Libyan terrorists some amount of plutonium. Jesus, I was like, oh wow, okay, I didn't kind of catch this.
You don't catch that when you're like growing up, and now it's like, oh shit, he actually did stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. So that happened. Yeah.
You want to do the rundown? All right. So just a quick rundown. So the movie kind of starts with kid Marty McFly, just going over to Doc Brown's office, and he gets like a phone call to say, hey, meet me tonight at this parking lot and bring the camera because I'm going to show you something super cool. Night rolls in, and he comes in driving this DeLorean, and apparently he demonstrates that, I think he tested it on the dog. They had a dog.
Yeah, Einstein.
Yeah. And he made Einstein go back in time and then go back. And I think he said he just tested it for like a minute or something.
Yeah, just a second.
Or something.
Yeah,
like
I guess
that.
a minute.
Yeah.
That thing happened.
And then he goes on and talks about like, oh, it's powered by plutonium. And then he talks about like how he actually conned the Libyan like terrorists into like just stealing some plutonium, and they wouldn't know that he just put like a bunch of like, I think he said like canisters with like rocks in them or something.
Yeah, basically the Libyans want him to actually build a bomb. Yeah. Instead of building the bomb, well, he just stole it for his own purposes. Fucking Emmett Brown.
I know, man.
But yeah, the consequence on that one is that the Libyans came to the city and shot Dr. Brown dead,
yeah,
and which leads to Marty actually using the time machine to get out of that situation, but ended up going to 1955 to where his mom and dad haven't met yet or haven't kissed yet. Starting
they haven't started their relationship yet.
Yeah, haven't started their relationship. So, Marty met Dr. Brown at that time and told him that it's true that he got to create something that works, and it's up to Marty, with the help of Dr. Brown from the past, to think of a way to go back to the future or to the present.
Yeah, the problem was, since the car needed like 1.21 gigawatts of electrical power, that's why he needed gigawatts. Like, if you think about that now, it's not that big. But anyways, that's why they needed the plutonium. Now the problem was, in 1955, the only time that I think plutonium ever existed was never. I don't think it ever existed, or it was like a nuclear power source back then. So it was like, how it's not like something you can buy at a drugstore. I think it was something that the doctor said. And so
that's why they said that they need the lightning, the power of a lightning bulb, to actually get that reaction for the time machine to work.
Because part of their history, or Marty's history, was like there was this clock at their school that actually apparently got struck by lightning in 1955, coincidentally, and it stopped the clock from working. So Marty knew, going back into the past, that lightning would strike the clock tower, not clock tower, the clock at this date at this time. So they basically set out to charge up the car with a lightning bolt to get him back to his proper date and time.
Yeah, so it should have been an easy plan, if not for Marty to bump into his own mom and eventually causing it a butterfly effect.
Yeah.
That, just, it so happens that his mom digs him.
It changed the way history happened, basically.
Yeah. So along with that dilemma of, going back in time, Marty needs to fix his parents' relationship and get it back on track. And that's the main gist of the movie. And oh god, this is one of the most I know, I really do enjoy this movie.
Yeah,
it's a good sci-fi / comedy flick.
Even
though it's it was what it was shown
1985.
1985. Yeah, 1985. It still holds up pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, after I saw it, I was like, damn, that was actually pretty solid movie. Like, even though the story was, like, obviously it's kind of cheesy, but it worked for it. It was funny when it was funny, and it's, like, all around very enjoyable. Like, the story was pretty, like, rock solid.
So what do you like about the movie? Like, the main thing you like about the movie?
The main thing I like about the movie is how they are, well, at least I feel like they're consistent when it comes to, like, like time, space, like how it affects the future. Like, it feels like they thought about it as they were, like, writing the story, you know what I mean? Whereas some movies tend to have, like, plot holes, like, oh, why did this thing not disappear or something like that. But for this, they kind of, like, explained it to why certain things were happening and why the problem was this and that, and, like, how to fix it, in a way. Because even, like, towards the end of the movie, it's like it did go back to normal, but it didn't go exactly back to normal, because
there are some little bits of things that changed for the better.
Yeah, and then everything, like, obviously it all worked out for, like, a happy ending for Marty, because now his life is a little bit better because of the changes he did, going back to the past.
What I like about this movie is probably the feel of it's 1980s setting, and
1980s
going back
1955.
Yeah, and the way they portrayed 1955 was actually very, very whimsical, very, very quirky. No, you
Mm-hmm.
you're reading an Archie comic.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Like they have this this soda bar and stuff. And, you don't get to see a soda bar with with a disco thing
Yeah.
going on or something. But but it's really good. I
And
mean,
even just like the
the
way that they dressed too, I thought was like really
yeah,
great. Everyone was
yes,
so like spiffy.
really classy, really spiffy,
Yeah.
really jockey.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I like about it. Like Back to the Future is also about the sense of Americana.
Mhm.
Like
Details, just details, very fantastic. Even just like the way that they comment on like, why are you wearing a life vest? Did you just come from a boat
yeah.
or something? I thought that was great.
That was, oh god, the scene basically from the bar from the soda bar is pretty cool
Yeah.
because there's this bit about the mayor
Oh
when
yeah.
he was actually trying to give
like
advice
I'm
to
gonna
George.
get out of here, like in a few years, but I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then Marty goes, "You should run for mayor." It's like, mayor, something.
Yeah.
It's like I like the
For
sound of
mayor.
that. I'm run for
Yeah,
mayor.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Actually,
Also the music. I like the music
Mhm.
in this movie. Like it really stuck to me. Power of Love and Back
Oh,
in
yeah.
Time. Those two tracks in the movie really did stick out.
Or was that song
Make
he
it-
played at the end?
Go Johnny Go.
Go Johnny Go. You guys aren't ready for that.
Yeah, but yeah, the music also that's featured in 1955 was actually good. The ones that were sung by the fictional, I don't know what you call this, blues band or something.
I don't remember. I think so. Like for the dance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what else can you like really talk about the movie?
Oh yeah, I'm actually running down on our
Oh yeah, we got a list.
club topic ideas. But yeah, so speaking of the mayor, George McFly, Marty, Doc. So who is your favorite character in this movie?
My favorite character
Because
was
it is a really hard question. Since a lot of the characters in Back to the Future are very memorable in their own
That's
right.
true. I mean, like, while I do like Michael J. Fox's character, I feel like I gotta give the most props to
Biff.
to George, man, his dad.
Oh god.
George, dude, the
Dude,
guy
Crispin Glover
Crispin Glover.
here in this movie is
it's so great.
cool.
It's so good. It's so good.
The way he laughs during the first minutes of the movie is such it's such hilarious. It's so hilarious whenever he was. I think that's the time when Lorraine was actually trying to tell a story. Trying to tell the story
Oh,
of how
yeah,
George
yeah.
and her.
And then he was
met
just
up.
watching the TV.
He was just he was just watching television, and he was not even paying attention to what she's saying. And
Yeah.
after the story, he was just his stupid laugh that he did and
He's
all
like,
that. Yeah, something like that. And he was all wide mouthed and all that. Very comical expression. That he made. Yeah, that one though. So yeah, Crispin Glover is
Crispin
pretty-
Glover. Even just
Dean.
everything, like even like during the flashback, not flashback, rather the the younger
The
version. of him.
1950s.
Yeah, he kind of like just the range,
Yeah.
The
Do you
range.
know? Like I've read some of the articles on the development of this movie, and I did sort of look on how Crispin Glover actually did George McFly. Is that it's interesting that he has a lot of ad lib stuff
Really?
in that part, like the shaking of his hands. It's all just ad lib and it's just from him. There's no actual direction or anything that director said that you
Like
gotta
through
have your
this.
hands shaken.
Oh
like
man,
So yeah, God.
that's really
I mean,
interesting.
Crispin Glover really is something in the first movie. But sadly, I know if we are going to actually review the second and third part Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
His character got. George McFly was different in the second and third part because it wasn't played by Crispin Glover at all. He was replaced.
See,
So
so I'm probably gonna be disappointed if we carry on and watch the next one. I mean, I probably would, even like
no,
in spare time. But
for me, I know. It wasn't that noticeable at all. I guess like the one who replaced Crispin Glover was actually Jeffrey Wiseman, and I think when I remember watching part 2 and 3, it wasn't really that it wasn't really that noticeable
yeah,
at all. I guess, but yeah, if you want prime George McFly, you better watch the first movie. That was just awesome. Well, for me, my favorite character probably be Doc Brown because yeah, at first when I was a kid, I was actually I actually like. My favorite character was Marty because it's Marty. Skateboard,
right. He was so
carrying
cool.
guitar, hurling dude. Who would have loved that character?
It's true.
But the more I actually watch it, and the more I kind of appreciate the little bits of pieces of details about the movie, the more I'm inclined to have Doc Brown as my favorite character because he's just a real nutcase character. So, but you will kind of find out that more once you've watched the second and most definitely the third movie. Because the third movie is actually very interesting. It has a good plot, but it didn't actually got a lot of ticket sales, I believe. But it was critically good, you know. So, what else can I say? I think I can add that Leah Thompson as Lorraine during the 1950s part was actually good.
Yeah.
I mean,
She kind of annoyed me.
I don't know, but
found
no.
her-
I mean, she was hot.
I mean, she was, yeah.
I gotta tell it. I mean,
You gotta tell
from
it like it is.
from the time that I watched it as a kid to now, it's just she was hot, and
So if you think you were Marty, and you saw a younger version of your mom as Leah Thompson, would
nah, I don't think I could.
like I don't
Like
think
seriously, but how they actually filmed, I mean, how they actually filmed those scenes were really good. Like, convincingly you will get what Marty's thinking that nah dude, this is not right.
It's like
Yeah. So
oh man.
yeah, what about things that you struggle with in the movie? Are there anything
I mean,
that kind of
I wouldn't
gives you that-
say that I struggled with it. It was just like one of those things where you just kind of think about it now. Remember when you mentioned that guy in the soda place?
Oh yeah, the mayor?
Yeah, the guy who plays the mayor. Now, in the current timeline, he was still running for mayor. And
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
went back to the future, he told the guy to run for mayor. Now,
Mhm.
in my head, it's like, shouldn't that change in the current time to maybe, something else happen where it's like he ran for mayor too early and like he lost and then he never like did it again. Like, you know what I mean? Like something
From
like
what
that.
I understand is that during the 1985, well, during the present scenes, he
Yeah.
was actually rerunning for mayor. Like he was already mayor, like he was the current mayor. He was just trying to get reelected.
Okay.
So yeah,
I mean,
guess
like
this
I-
is
like
one
I
of
said,
the
it's
perfect movies.
It's so perfect. It's so perfect.
Uh,
I mean, I didn't really have gripes with it. I mean, it's
I think the only gripe I
Libyans something. I mean,
yeah,
they
that was just
came in,
purely
like,
whitewashed.
Yeah, that was
Those are
kinda,
purely whitewashed.
yeah.
You know that those aren't really.
They're not. Libyans really wouldn't do that. They wouldn't dress like that.
They wouldn't have a Volkswagen
Yeah, right.
van
It's like
running
highly
around like
suspicious.
Scooby-Doo,
I know.
having
It's
rocket
kinda
launchers.
Like, come on, guys. But I mean,
But-
it's for that movie. I feel like they didn't try. They didn't need to try that hard for that because of the actual like meat of the story isn't about the Libyan thing. That's at least what I think. So to me, it doesn't bug me as much, even though like it's still, it's still like something that's a little bit off, but it doesn't bug me that much.
I think for me, I don't know. I can't think of anything that struggled with me. I mean, I can't think of anything that I struggled with in the movie. Like,
What if
especially
Biff,
now that
like,
I've
murdered...
rewatched it in a. I'm sorry.
I'm thinking about it. It's like, what if Biff murdered George when Marty left? Taking a turn for
Yeah,
the
that's
worse
one of
here.
those things that you can actually think about, since they didn't really imply that when George punched Biff that he was all now.
Yeah, now he's like all tough and like stand up for himself guy. Like it
Biff's
does. I don't know if
became
it's...
chicken shit or something. No, they didn't actually say that or show that.
Because if you're someone like Biff, I feel like you would
get revenge.
Yeah, you'd like
Jesus.
get back to him and like beat his ass even more, and
Yeah.
probably make him wuss out even more. So if anything, maybe George should have been a little bit more of a bigger pussy in present time rather than him being.
Well, I guess that's some of the struggles that you.
That's just me like reaching now, though. You know what I mean? It's not just like
I don't know. I think the struggle with me for this movie is probably. I know, probably the Go Johnny Go scene. Like,
okay.
It was there, okay. It was there. It was okay. It was very entertaining, but it really didn't add anything to the story or plot. Like they could just skip that thing.
Yeah, no, that's true. Or just cut out of it briefly.
But for what I heard, that the test audience or the audience really loved that scene, so it doesn't really hurt that much to include that in the movie. Plus, it's actually a good scene for Michael J. Fox to
That's true.
start his stuff.
Yeah. We're just like bringing in more love for him, even more.
Yeah. Speaking of Michael J. Fox, have you ever had? Have you ever noticed any significance? Any significant themes, or what's your favorite? You have any themes you want to discuss about the movie, or key issues?
Themes, key issues.
What's this? What's the theme? I mean, what's the movie all about? Theme wise or something.
Like, how do you mean?
Like, what's the moral of the story, or the theme of the story?
Oh, moral of the story?
Have you actually
Did I learn anything
found
from
something?
it?
Yeah.
I mean,
has your life changed because?
Has it changed my life for the better? I mean, it's basically like stand up for yourself, or like don't be afraid to take the first step, because I mean, it's more. It wasn't really anything that Marty did. It was more like George McFly's like development from like always being the person who second guesses himself. I mean, I kind of see myself as kind of like that, and for people like that, like me, that kind of like it kind of just always you get the fear of like missing out on life, or like missing out on like these big opportunities.
The fear of doubting yourself.
Yeah, like the fear.
That's one of the most dangerous things you could ever do.
Exactly, like the fear of failure is stronger than the fear of not trying, which I think is
very dangerous.
I feel like that's way more dangerous.
That's also the thing that I noticed about the movie, and I just this is why I like this movie club stuff. And since I rewatched Back to the Future, I kind of picked that up right now when I watched it. Is that George McFly and Marty McFly has the same problems when it comes to self-doubt, fear of being able to fail or not succeed.
That's true.
And it's actually Doc Brown or probably George who said that if you put your mind into it, you'll get it done or something like that.
Yeah, I think Doc said that one.
Yeah. So it's like passive knowledge.
That's true.
From Doc Brown to Marty to George, back to Marty.
Yeah.
But
it's actually funny because if you look back and think about the movie, it feels like because of the current predicament that Marty found himself in, I feel like it taught him to face that, and then in part he taught his father to face that when he was younger.
Yeah. So, it's all about trying to overcome her self-doubt.
Yeah.
And
Jeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's great because even if you think about remember the hall monitor guy, he said even your father's the exact same way, like always a loser or something, like a slacker. Yeah, exactly. Slacker. So you can just tell like they had the
same problem.
Same problem. Now, clearly at the end of the movie they faced it. Happily ever after. Biff is now like a car wash guy / butler or something.
Yeah. It's like a cute dog now.
I know.
Biff as
here's your car, Marty.
Bully.
Here's your car, Mush McFly. And he got his truck too. He got his truck.
Oh yeah, the Ford.
Yeah.
That was kind of random.
I know. I was like, oh, nice
whatever,
touch. Nice touch.
George is now successful, so
so you probably afford it.
Give him the car.
He doesn't watch the shit like that, the TV show where he just laughs at it.
Yeah. Oh god, speaking of other scenes in the movie, I think one of my favorite scenes in that movie was when Marty actually visited George, as an alien, and he said that he is Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan. That was fucking funny.
And did he write about that? He wrote that book, right?
Yeah, he wrote that book. When I was young, I didn't even.
You didn't make that connection. Yeah, you didn't make that connection.
Yeah, I understand Darth Vader, but from the planet Vulcan, that was just.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, fucking... I missed
that. Yeah.
Oh man, that's true. That's good. That's good.
So yeah, overall, I think I'll give this movie. Well, this is kind of unfair because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. So I'll give this 5 out of 5 stars for me. Yeah, like Back to the Future. Oh god, the trilogy is one of my favorite movie trilogies.
Well, I gotta still work on the other ones, but for this one,
oh yeah,
great, whatever. great. 5 out of 5 for me. Really good, really solid. Life lessons.
You will love the crazy things that will happen in part 2.
Oh yeah.
Definitely, you will love it.
Is it gonna be an issue? Wait, does Leah Thompson recur her role as the mom?
Yeah, I think only George and some other characters were replaced. I mean the characters.
All right.
But Leah Thompson's still there, and she's also good at part 2.
All right.
There's a scene there, but yeah, I'm not gonna spoil. I'm gonna let you discover it, and if you want to actually make another movie club topic about the other Back to the Future movies, all right, let's do it.
Let's see.
But Back to the Future. If you guys haven't watched it yet, you better watch it because it's really good. You know, no matter how old it was when it went out in the theaters, you know, it really aged fine. And the effects, you know, it really isn't an issue because you know it's just most of the stuff there was particle effects, right? Like
I believe so. Yeah, I think it's all like just those effects.
I think they went wild in part 2 though.
Really?
That's what
All right.
the future. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Actually, seeing this, just seeing Back to the Future in general feels like they used it as a huge draw for Rick and Morty.
Oh really?
Yeah, if you watch Rick and Morty, it kind of feels like that, like the Doc and Marty having that kind of relationship, whereas Rick and Morty is like it's his uncle.
It's uncle.
Yeah.
Who was the professor?
Yeah. But, you know, obviously in a more like R-rated kind of setting for Rick and Morty.
I have to really watch. I haven't watched it yet, so I really have to download probably season 1.
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
And that is our movie club. So far, you don't have any planned topics next week, but if time and circumstance wills it in the lovely state of California, we'll be getting a movie club of Final Fantasy Kingsglaive. We could have recorded now, but unfortunately Emil haven't saw it yet.
Yeah.
But I already saw it, and the guests that we plan to feature for this episode already saw it. It's just that there's nothing shown in California.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's the weirdest thing. Like I'm trying to like find theaters that have it, but for some reason.
Yeah, but you have Sausage Party, so that's
true.
That's a good thing. So, anyways, guys, thank you for listening. Any stuff we want to plug in? Yeah, we have Twitch, and we have the YouTubes, we have the Facebooks. You can just catch us all up in twitch.tv/noobsandcubes, youtube.com/noobsandcubes, and facebook.com/noobsandcubes. We also have a Twitter, but we don't use it that often. But of course, it's gonna be /noobsandcubes.
Of course.
And what else? What's going on Twitch? We are still streaming Overwatch since we are trying to get as much loot boxes as possible before the summer events end. And yeah, just about 2 hours ago, you can just watch the VOD of our Titanfall stream. It was terrible.
Yeah. Oh man. I think we're gonna try. Are we gonna try again with Binky? Maybe if he's still up.
Well, I have 2 hours before I can go back to work. So yeah, Jeah.
Oh man, I think Miggy's probably already asleep.
No, he's not gonna sleep until like 8 o'clock.
Really?
These guys are vampires.
Jeez, man. Jeez.
And what else? I guess I don't know. If time permits again, if circumstance permits, we'll be getting a lot of new videos in our YouTube channel. And we've already scheduled our Overwatch weeklies, and
Yep. Those
because
will be
I've been
recurring.
doing some edits for the Overwatch footage I've got in my computer. I tried to get rid of it, but of course it's better to just compile them into 9-minute episodes for our YouTube channel. So of course, just a heads up. Yeah, just heads up. This week's episode will be with a certain podcaster who guested in the show. Well, not yet, but in the future.
Back to the future.
So, back to the future. Yeah. So, anyways, any last words?
Stay tuned for Batman season 2 whenever. Not that season 2, episode 2 when it comes out.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna stream it.
Oh yeah, both shizzos. And Mix is gonna start his Street Fighter career.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, oh yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Upcoming event, APCC, so Asia Pop Comic Con 2016 is gonna come this August 26th to 28th. So they got a lot of celebrity guests, including Nicholas Hoult, Bobby Millie Brown of Stranger Things, that girl from who's that? That girl from the Vampire Diaries, Claire Holt. Yeah, Claire Holt. And also they have Gendry from Game of Thrones coming out. So it's Joe Dempsey from Game of Thrones.
People are probably gonna ask, like, where'd your character go?
Yeah. I thought your character ran out of the ship.
Jeez,
Also in this event there'll be, there'll
Millie
be
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, there'll be booths, there'll be tournaments brought to you by esports stuff.
Nice.
Oh yeah, there's Street Fighter 5 and Overwatch. Actually, there's Overwatch. I'm trying to look for a group to join the tournament, but fortunately,
should join with
nobody's
TMG it up.
Nah, I don't think they can because they're working on media for that one.
Oh, they are.
So that's the thing.
Alright.
And Emil with Emil with the E isn't actually coming to APCC that time since he's going to Australia.
Got it.
But, yeah. So, anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Tune in next week for another sweet, sweet episode of GentleFriends.
Radio. Wait, we're not radio. Jeah.
Yeah. Jeah.
Jeah. G. Who got that goodie? Who got that goodie? Who got that Gucci?